air adventures of BIGGLES.
Biggles and Bertie are so exhausted that the sun is high when they wake, and they plan to set off at once for their plane hidden in a valley some miles away. But there's a snag. At the aerodrome, Kowalski took their compass, and they'd be crazy to attempt the desert trek without any means of finding their way. For a moment, they despair. Then Biggles remembers the compass in the wrecked machine. They quickly hurry across and try to free the precious compass, which fortunately is still undamaged. But an ominous sound disturbs their work. Away in the distance, an aircraft is cruising, probably on the lookout for them.
Of course, you could be mistaken about that, old bean.
You really think so? Kowalski knows we are somewhere out in the desert. What's he likely to do about it?
Hope we drown ourselves in the first valley mirage.
He'd do what we would ourselves. Send our planes to quarter the desert until they've found us. That's one of them we can hear now.
You know, it's a fair way off, old Trout.
Won't be for long. Move outside, Bertie. We'll have a look at it.
What about the compass?
Forget it for the moment. First, I want to see what that plane's doing and work out what we can do about it.
There he is.
Yes. Still just above the horizon.
Yes, and flying west. The blighter isn't looking for us, Biggles.
He hasn't seen us yet, you mean?
Well, all right, if you're going to be technical about it. But we've still time to drag out the jolly old compass, what?
No fear.
But hang it all, old bean, he might stooge about for hours without spotting the prang, and we need that blooming compass.
He's just as likely to see it within the next couple of minutes. Come on, Bertie.
Where to?
Back to the hills before he looks this way. We can't stop him seeing the wreckage, but I want to be clear of it before he has the chance to see us. Get a move on. This rock will do. Down in the shadow behind it.
Oh, don't rush me.
Hurry, Bertie. That kite's changed its direction. Yeah, that'll do. We can watch what's happening from here. If we lie perfectly still, he isn't likely to see us.
Sizzling sausages, he's heading this way.
Of course he is. He'd turn just as we reach the foot of the hill.
Because of us?
I hope not. It's more likely the wreckage. Once it caught his attention, he'd have his eye on that. He wouldn't be watching the hill.
Let's trust you're right, old bean. Trouble is, we Ulysses haven't trusting natures.
He's making a turn. I wonder what that is.
Going to make a sweep past the hill. Wants to have a really good deco at the kite.
Good. That means he hasn't spotted us.
We hope.
Don't move, Bertie. He's coming close. Even if he hasn't seen us, he'd spot a movement.
The Lissy clan is rigid, old Trout. Positively frozen stiff.
He's registered the wreckage. No question of that.
No question at all. The only question is, what's he going to do about it?
I'm hoping he'll fly back to the drome and report it to Kowalski.
Oh, it must be wonderful to be as hopeful as that.
Well, what can he do about it? A wreck's a wreck.
Yes, and that one's an awful wreck, but we aren't. He may twig to that.
It's all right, Bertie. He's gaining height.
What's so right about that? We Ulysses can think of umpteen reasons why he should gain height. Some of them barely unpleasant.
The most likely reason is that he's going to cut back to the drome. Hey.
Is it?
He's going to dive.
And from that position, he'll dive straight towards us.
No, it's the wreck he's aiming for. Holy mackerel, I see what he's up to.
What?
Lie low, Bertie, quickly, flat behind the rock.
The bally swine. Some of those bullets came whizzing past the Lissy here.
It wasn't us he was aiming at. He pumped most of his lead into the wreck.
But he's still a bally swine. Suppose we'd been lying hurt in the blooming thing.
That's why he shot it up. to make sure there are no survivors.
If I ever get him in my sights, there'll be no belly survivors. That's a coward's trick.
Keep down. He's coming in again.
What's he trying to do? Make a colander of the darn kite?
If there'd been anyone aboard, they wouldn't have survived that burst.
Yes, he's done his dirty work. Why doesn't he go away? Shoo! Buzz off! You're not wanted!
Keep down. He's banking again.
Oh, baked potatoes, not a third time. No, by jingo, he isn't diving this time.
He's going to land.
Sizzling sausages, that's worse still. If he lands, he may have a squint at this valley hill.
We'll have to watch for that. Yes, here he comes. He's going to overshoot the wreck.
Yes. At this rate, he'll finish up just below us. I think he spotted us, Biggles.
We can't do anything about it now. Just lie low.
Two of the blighters climbing out.
Be ready to jump them if they come up here. We may have a chance.
Yeah, that's all right. It was bad flying that brought them here. They're going back to the wreck.
That's not much consolation.
I don't know. It's better than coming up here.
They'll search the wreckage, find there's no one in it, and then look for our footprints.
Sizzling sausages. I can see our belly footmarks from here. They lead straight from the wreck to the hill. They're a blooming certainty to find us.
I wonder...
Well, I don't. Even my dear old Aunt Agatha can follow those footprints, and she's as blind as a bat. Eyesight, of course.
We're a bit lucky that's a two-seater plane, Bertie.
Hey?
It would be uncomfortable if we both had to squeeze into a single-seater cockpit, wouldn't it?
I say, you're not suggesting...
I'm suggesting that when those blokes reach the wreckage, they'll be further away from their plane than we are. When that moment comes, we'll pinch it.
You beauty. Biggles, we grovel in the dust before you. There, only had an inch to go anyway.
Have you the sheet of perspex?
My word, I've been clinging to it ever since we left the kite.
Then stand by. They're nearly there. Now, run for it.
They've seen us.
Never mind. Keep going. Keep going. Nearly at the foot of the hill. Right. Follow me in, Bertie. I'll take the controls.
Hurry, Biggles. They'll shoot up the kite.
The hatch. Shut it.
Ah, this is good. You know, we Lissies haven't really had time to consider it yet, but this is one of the best ideas you've had for a long time.
It solves a lot of problems for us. It's much more comfortable flying back to our plane than it would have been walking across the desert.
Yes, and I doubt if we'd have had a compass. Those blighters would have shot it to pieces. Now they'll have to find their way back without a compass. That's justice, what?
I've no feeling about it. The swine tried to murder us in cold blood. They deserve what's ahead of them.
And we're on Clover. Ah, life's not really bad when we come to think of it.
Don't be too smug about it. We aren't out of bother yet.
Oh, I don't know, Albine. It's just a matter of waffling across to the valley where we left our kite, fixing the windscreen, then stooging up for the boys in the morning. Positive walkover.
Perhaps, providing our kite is still where we left it, providing Kubalski's boys don't find us before we take off. If all these items work out, we'll be right.
Algy? Henry, where are you?
We are hiding between the statues, Anne, over here.
Why did you come out? It's dangerous on this ledge.
Oh, I came to tell you that everything's completed inside the
Press
caves.
back against the wall, Anne. Get beside one of the Buddhas and don't move. You're less likely to be seen from below then.
Well, I'm sorry if I did wrong in coming out, Algy, but Well, I thought you'd like to know.
Oh, of course, I don't mean to be snappy, but the situation is becoming a bit tense. The tiger's paying too much attention to this cliff face.
Well, do you think he'll come up here?
Well, it seems inevitable, Anne. Miss Summers and Father Dubron, are they in the underground cave?
Yes, and we've taken in everything we could find. The other caves are completely bare now.
Now, that is good. No one will know that they have been occupied. What of the stone? Is that close by the opening where we can close the cave with it?
Yes, it's all ready. When you and Algy come in, you can quite easily roll it into position.
Anne, go back now. Hop into the cave and pull the stone after you.
Well, aren't you and Henry coming?
Henry can go if he likes. I have a job to do.
What do you mean, Algy?
Look below.
It has happened.
Yes. Ma Chang is sending up one of his men to look for us. This is what we've been waiting for.
Algy is turning over a grim scheme in his mind. How will he deal with the soldier? Can the fugitives avoid being found? Don't miss the thrills and suspense in the next chapter of The Air Adventures of Biggles.